I thought today was probably the best time to introduce myself. So, other than being a frazzled mum, my name is Alison and I am a disabled um, send mum of three. I have a few chronic conditions. I have ulcerative colitis, which I have a permanent ileostomy stoma bag. I grew up with ADHD. More recently, obviously, being diagnosed on the spectrum as well as having ADHD, so that's fun. I spent years on steroids. I was on 40 milligrams of prednisolone for 14 years for ulcerative colitis, which resulted in a diagnosis of diabetes. So I am I'm weird, type 2 and type 1 all at the same time. So steroid-induced diabetes. Because of the steroids, I have a crumbling spine, so I am riddled with arthritis everywhere. I have degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis. I've already had one spinal surgery that unfortunately didn't work. I have 5 herniated discs in my spine, so I get lots of sciatica down my legs, which is great fun. I have asthma. I'm allergic to loads, so I've got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So yeah, I dislocate as well, and I have MCAS, so I am allergic to just about everything and anything. Local anaesthetic doesn't work. I'm allergic to plasters, which is great fun having a stoma bag because sticky stuff and me don't always get on. And all the other conditions that kind of evolve around being autistic with ADHD and having Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, OCD, which can manifest in intrusive thoughts. So it's a very difficult journey. And then to have 3 children that all of these conditions other than the ADHD were diagnosed post giving birth to them. So I didn't realise that my conditions could be passed on to my children, which unfortunately they were. So I have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. My eldest daughter has ADHD and my younger 2 are ADHD with autism, and then my youngest daughter, autism. They all have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome because it's genetic, and my youngest 2 have horrendous eczema, asthma, allergies. My daughter's so allergic to plants and trees she can't touch raw fruit or vegetables, so we spent a lot of time in the resus unit when they were younger. And I know in the news at the minute there's a lot of talk about, overdiagnosis and everything. Mine were diagnosed quite some time ago, but they don't talk about the effect it has on you as a parent, never mind the fact that I have it myself. They just it's just a diagnosis, off you go, let you get on with it. It doesn't instantly cure it, and it doesn't instantly give you ways to deal with it. I did not have help when my children were growing up. In fact, quite the opposite actually. I had social services on my back all the time. I was Munchausen sitting. Is it Munchausen? I can't remember the correct word for it, but on my youngest daughter's medical notes, it said that I was making it all up until she was then diagnosed with a couple of the issues as an adult. As a child, she was diagnosed with benign joint hypermobility syndrome, which obviously we now know as Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. But a lot of the autism diagnosis, I was making it up. I was that parent that just wanted my kids to have all these conditions. No, I really didn't, actually. I would rather they not have these conditions and live no, I wouldn't say a normal life, because no one's normal. Not really. But I would rather they didn't have these conditions. I would rather not see them in pain. I would rather not see them looking like a burns victim because their eczema is so bad and infected and they're scratching themselves raw. I would rather not see them with swollen eyes and struggling to breathe because they've had anaphylaxia. So yeah, that was kind of hurtful, and that led me to my first nervous breakdown because I was struggling really badly with being gaslit by all the medical professionals, dealing with 3 children that all had various conditions and they were all very much their own person, and then hiding my illnesses and my problems because my children were more important, so they were my forefront. So my children, I very much was like, I have to deal with them, I have to help them, And I kind of put my health to the wayside, which was probably the worst thing I could have done, because doing all the training and everything I now know, obviously you can't help people if you're doing it from an empty cup. So I was constantly tired, snappy. I had roid rage from steroids, undiagnosed diabetic, so I was hot and angry all the time, and trying to manage 3 children with all their own problems, and not knowing how bad my colitis was or my spine was, and hiding kind of everything about me. We mask so well as females because I was trying to deal with helping my children first. I'm still like that today, but I do actually look after myself a lot more now. So for anybody out there that's really struggling right now, I know where you've been, and that is why I do what I do, because I want to help you and let you know that you're not alone, and that there is help out there. There is support. You have to look for it sometimes and step up and ask for it. Don't hide it away like I did. Ask for help. I know in the news at the minute it's very scary about everything they're saying, overdiagnosis, and it's not really, ADHD and stuff like that. So that's not really helpful. But even with children with other disabilities, my daughter-in-law's got cerebral palsy, and it's a minefield when it comes to having children with disability these days, because a lot of the doctors do gaslight you, and they do tend to not listen to you, and we're made to feel like we're going bloody bonkers. So reach out. There are lots of charities out there that help. I know it might be a bit of a wait, but do reach out and ask for help, because there is help and support out there. I suppose when I was starting to help with my coaching and starting to help, I just overgave with everyone, because I just wanted nobody to feel like I did that back then, 20 years ago, when it was, really bad. And a lot has happened since then, and a lot more information is out there now about neurodivergent conditions and disabilities and kind of all that sort of stuff. So, it's a different world than it was 20 years ago. And I hope that, social media helps, because there are so many groups out there that you can join to support whatever your child's diagnosis is, but also you as well. And when I first started doing my kits, it was to help, because I have a course called The Balanced Mum, which is on Udemy. I'll put the link in the comments. That just helps you through being a send mum. And as I said in my Frazzled Mum, I just wanted to give you something tangible to hold while you were doing it, to let you know that you're not alone, and that I hear you, I see you, and I am there for you. So that was how my Frazzled Mum fix kit was born. And all my other kits that have come along since in the last year are there to help and support you in a holistic way. You've got your blends, you've got your crystals. Not all of you may believe in holistic healing. I do. I used it a lot, and I found that for me, it was the crystals at first. I was very heavily into my crystals when the children were growing up. Amethyst and rose quartz were my favourite. My favourite now is tiger's eye. I actually quite like green aventurine as well, but tiger's eye is definitely a big one for me. So I think anything that can help support you and make you feel good, all right, and is self-care for you, is a win. Because while you're dealing with your children, you're not looking after yourself, are you? Come on. Admit it, let's be honest, you're not looking after yourself. And it's really important, because you can't help others if you are right down on the floor and feeling as low as I did. You're not going to be able to help anyone, are you? So, take a moment, do some breathing exercises. You can find loads online. Sit down and sort of, ask yourself the questions. Am I really looking after myself? Am I doing the best to bring my energy up so that I can deal with my child and her condition or his condition? Am I really looking after myself? And if you find that you're not, go on my website, grab one of my blends or my kits and start looking after yourself, because you really do need to support yourself to be able to support your family. And that's what I'm here for, just as a little tool along the way to give you that support that you need to be able to support your family.